All right, we are live. How is everybody doing? Hope you are doing well. Let's see how many live viewers we get at this time of day. It's currently Friday, June 23rd for me, about 4:17 p.m. And I'm going to do something a little bit different today. The live stream probably will be a little bit more boring than usual. Potentially, we'll see what happens. I'm not really sure where this is going to go. Why can't I see the viewer count? I want to see why. For some reason, I'm not able to see how many people are viewing this podcast. I keep saying podcast. This video right now. Let's have a look here. All right, now I can actually see. Perfect. Awesome, good stuff. So basically, what's going to be happening in this video? I'm not sure if people watch live, but what's going to happen in this video is I'm going to, by the way, I can't see if there's any live viewers. So if there are live viewers, please type in the chat, because for some reason, YouTube's not giving me any live viewer counter. But anyway, basically what's happening is I decided I want to do a podcast. I decided that it's something I should probably at least taste, because I think it's important for someone like me who works in languages, who really, I focus all of my life around languages. I find that it's quite important to explore lots of different platforms to post content. So whether it's like Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is, I feel like it's important to, I feel like it's important to explore different platforms. And I was thinking about it today, and I realized that, I do a lot of video. Anyone who even remotely follows me, I do a lot of video. I do some blogging. I do some text. I've done a lot of it in the past, but I do less now because I've gotten a taste, and I realize it's not kind of the direction that I want to like 100% focus on. But what I've never, ever, ever, ever tried is voice. I've never tried podcasting, and so I decided I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to start testing it, playing with it a little bit, and to see really how it feels. And so today, it's going to be a little bit of a weird video where I go to make my first podcast. Now, there's some different challenges. Challenge number one is that the biggest challenge is that I have no freaking idea how to actually make a podcast. I have no idea. So a lot of this video is going to be me actually trying to figure out how to actually make a podcast. I literally know, all I know is can you see my screen? I guess you guys can't see my screen, but all I really know is that you need to, have a program to like edit the audio, but apart from that, I know really nothing. So it's gonna be interesting. If you have any questions along the way, anything you want me to rant on as I try and learn how to podcast, let me know. Type them in the live chat. It looks like I can see if there's live viewers now, which is good. So hello to the 2-3 of you here. And yeah, let's jump right in. I think this will also be last thing. I think this could also end up being kind of like a tutorial, like a pretty bad tutorial for anyone who's trying to start a podcast for the first time. But yeah, let's jump in. So I think the first thing I need to figure out is what the heck do I even do to start this podcast? So let's share my screen so you guys can see what I'm doing on my screen. Hello, 3 viewers. Hello, hello. So first, I need to share my screen so you guys can see kind of what's going on here. All right. Let's do invite people. How do I share my screen? Aha, screen share. All right. All right, everybody should be able, present to everyone. Sure, why not? All right, everyone should be able to see my screen. Please type in the live chat. Let me know if you can see my screen or not. That way, I'm assuming you guys can see my screen, but hello, 4th live viewer. You joined in slightly late, so you're probably like, what the heck is going on? So I don't know how to start a podcast. Let's Google this. How to start a podcast, or how to make a podcast. Let's follow some steps. Okay, let's have a look here. Here we go. How to start your own podcast. Life hacker. Perfect. All right. Before you start, be ready to commit. I'm committed. I'm the most committed human here. Let's make sure that, yeah, it's fine. Perfect. Hello, Robert. Thank you. All right, let's see. Okay, what you'll need. All right, I have none of this equipment. I probably have none of the equipment I need. So microphone's not happening. None of this stuff is going to happen. Oh, by the way, whenever I start something for the very first time, let's switch the camera back onto me for a sec. Let's put it back on me for 2 seconds. All right, here we go. Back on me. Whenever I start something for the very first time, it's always worse than basically everyone's first attempt at something, because I don't really do dry runs. I don't really practice. I just sort of do it, and then go like, oh, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. And unlike most people, I will most of the time, not always, depending on what it is about and what it is, if it's something I'm very confident and kind of comfortable with, I'll post it publicly. So for example, today's, assuming I could figure this out and it's not overly complex, assuming I can figure out how to make a podcast, it's going to go live today, even though I have no freaking idea how to make a podcast or anything. So according to the website, we need a microphone, which I guess we'll use this microphone on my headphones. We'll use that. How's the chat doing? Cool. I have a microphone. I don't have this fancy, I don't have an XLR recorder. I don't have an audio interface. I don't even know what an audio interface is. Aha! I need to have a computer. It says I need a computer. I have a computer. Yes. Audio editing software. So I downloaded, I'm using Audacity. I don't know if, oh yeah, this website says use Audacity. Perfect. A pop filter. Oh yeah, let's share my screen again so you can see what I'm reading. Let's share my screen. Ooh, my computer's fan is going crazy. Why is it going crazy? My computer isn't doing that. The fan goes crazy for no reason. All right, share. Present to everyone. Okay, you guys should be able to see my screen now. Beauty. Okay, here we go. Weird. Can you guys actually see me and my screen or just my screen? Let me know in the chat if you see me and the screen or just my screen. Anyway. All right, so pop filters, don't have it. I should probably read this so I understand what this is and why they're saying it. Let's actually read this. So, portable XLR recorder. If you plan on using analog microphones, what is an analog microphone? I don't know. At least something that captures. Okay, I can't read this now. Okay, all I have is my computer. I have my headphones, and that's all we're gonna use. All right. Narrow your topic and find your niche. Well, I think that's done. Languages, language learning. So let's skip that. Download. I did this actually because I knew I needed a software to edit. So I've done this. I think I've done it. Downloaded it. Done. Connect your. Oh, how do I connect my microphone? Let's open up Audacity here. Opening Audacity. See, is my screen share working? Just the screen. Oh, okay, cool. Just the screen. Hello, mystical catnip. Okay. Okay. All right. So how do I? Okay, open this. Let's open up my Audacity. I'm actually surprised people are watching this. It's all right. We're gonna get there. All right. I need to connect my microphone. Well, it says built-in microphone here. So I guess, but I'm not using a built-in microphone. I'm using a. That's interesting. I wonder if I could import. Oh, that would be interesting if I could import an audio. Hang on, let me see something. Connect your microphone. Okay. See if your microphone. Oh, step 3. See if your microphone is being recognized by Audacity by checking the drop-down menu next to the small microphone icon. If you see your mic, go ahead and select it. I don't see my mic. Wait, what if I don't see it? What am I supposed to do then? This is useless. I need to know. I don't see. Yes, here's the microphone. A drop-down menu. I don't see my. Well, we could use the built-in. I'm not picky today. I just need to start understanding how this works. So, all right, let's keep going. What you'll want to do is export. Can we import an audio? Because then I could use my microphone on my headphones here. Is there? Oh, there's an import button. Oh, here we go. I can import an audio. That might be easier. Okay. So I'll import it, and then I'll export it. And then, oh, where do you post a podcast? That is a question. Just the screen. Cool. Okay. Awesome. 4 people are watching this. This is brilliant. The fact that 4 of you, I really appreciate that. By the way, let's switch this back on me for a second. Actually, who cares? I really appreciate that you guys are actually watching me just fumble my way through a podcast. Yeah, I think it's actually funny. One of the reasons I'm making this is that I can look back and sort of see, like, it'd be cool if the podcast ever becomes really popular or whatnot. It'll be really cool to look back to this moment where it's like, oh my God, this is where Azren knew nothing. Like, it's kind of like my very first YouTube videos. It's funny, on YouTube, you can find one of my first videos, but my very first one is not there. However, I actually found my very first YouTube video about 5, 6, 7 days ago. And it's so embarrassing that I don't know if I want to upload it quite yet. It's not embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing because of what I'm talking about. The stuff I'm talking about, I'm not overly, it's stuff that I don't really believe in anymore, and I'm not a fan of anymore, but at the time I did believe in. And so I used to be, I'll talk about it now. It's a good time to talk about it. Let's put the camera back on me as we talk about this. perfect. Here we go. Beauty. So yeah, I used to, when I was 17 at the time, 18 at the time, something like that. I used to be, you know, when I was 17 is when I was so passionate about business at the time. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do business. I like business, all this, that, and the other thing about business, 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 business. But the reason behind it was not healthy. It was not a great reason. My reason behind it was because I thought that business was like kind of a quote unquote get rich quick, or rather I thought that you could make lots of money really, really fast, and like that's just how it worked. And I was influenced by, my introduction to business was going to this bit of a, I don't know, seminar or conference, call it what you want to call it, big group gathering of some kind. And, you know, a lot of concepts are good, but the feel of the conference, you know, a lot of people walk out of it, including myself, walked out feeling like, you know, you could do things quickly and you can make money fast and all that stuff. And, you know, that's not typically my experience now as a 24-year-old. That's not really how it is, I don't think. But at the time, you know, I was like, oh man, I could do this. So I made this video, and it's like crazy. I'm talking about like, what did I was saying? I was like, do you want to like, it was so bad. It was something to the effect of like, do you want to make lots of money? You know, do you want to be financially free? And it's like, it's this little like 17-year-old kid, 17-year-old AZREN doing this crap. And I was like, oh. So I look at it now, it's like, oh man, I don't even know if I want to put that publicly. Like, I'm comfortable talking about it, but we'll see. I'm thinking about it. I think I might, not sure. I'll probably upload it on private at a minimum, and then maybe one day I'll change it. But anyway. All right, keep going with this podcast learning. So I want to figure out, so what should we do for this podcast? I guess I need something to talk about. That's important. I need to make a podcast about something. That's interesting. I didn't think that one through. Yeah, we could do. I have an idea. I'm going to Google. Let's share my screen again. Here we go. Screen share. Screen share. This is so amazing. I love that people are watching this. I didn't know what to expect. I really appreciate it, guys. I like having an audience. So, okay, here we go. You guys should be able to see my screen. Yeah, you guys can. Perfect. Beauty. Okay. Let's Google this. Common language learning questions. Let's do that. What we'll do is I'll look at these questions, and maybe I'll make a podcast out of some of the questions on here, and I'll just talk about some of them. That could work. Oh, it's Benny Lewis. Would you look at that? Is that Benny Lewis? I think it is. Yes, it is. Oh, it's actually him that wrote it. Interesting. How do you stay motivated to keep learning to the long intermediate stage? Have you ever used a foreign language you know well to learn another one? Oh my God, hiccups. Can you? I've never heard someone with hiccups on a podcast. Actually, finally, I don't think I've ever listened to a podcast in my life. Nope, I honestly don't think I have. That's quite fascinating. Huh, is this still working? Yep, still working. Or rather, actually, I've listened to one. Now that I'm talking this out, I've listened to one podcast before, but it's not your traditional podcast. But anyway, how can you join in a content when you don't understand every word? What about keeping up with your natives? How do you feel like a different person when speaking different languages? This is not bad. This is not bad. What language you dream in? How do you stop thinking via English? Yeah, this is not bad. Okay, we could use this site. Let's look through a couple more. Ooh, what if we do common language learning myths? Let's have a look through these. 7 language learning myths that are holding us back by Forbes. This is fascinating. I'm always interested by websites like this because I don't always agree. I don't want this. Oh, continue the article. There you go. Okay, let's see what people say. I just want to see the bullet points. Myth 1. Everybody already speaks English or they're learning it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Spanish, French, and German are the most spoken languages in the world besides English. Are these real myths? China speaks Chinese. India speaks Hindi. America speaks English. Are these really? I don't like these myths. I don't know if they're real. Let's go back again. How's the stream doing? Stream is doing good. All right, let's see here. You know what? No, let's go back to the first link we had. Let's do, FAQs about language learning. That looks cool. What is the best way to learn a second language? What is the best age to learn a new language? How long does it take to learn a second language? What are the factors that influence the acquisition of a second language? How is learning a second language? These are boring. I like the first website. Okay, here's the first website. All right, these are the questions we're gonna use. I'll make a podcast. It's gonna happen now. Now the question is, how do I do an audio recording on my computer? Because, how do I do that? How to make an audio recording? Let's Google that. Oh, I can use QuickTime. I can use QuickTime. How's the stream doing? Stream is doing fine. Okay, perfect. QuickTime Player can do audio recordings, I believe. All right. Oh, what? No, I don't need to open anything. I just need to do a new audio recording. Okay. All right. I think once I record this podcast, quote unquote podcast here, I think I should be able to import that into Audible, or no, what is it? Audible? No, Audacity. Sorry, Audacity. And I should be able to, or no, yeah, actually, do I need to import it to Audacity? I don't even know if I need to. What do I do? Okay, let's record the podcast and let's figure out what to do with it after it's recorded, okay? All right, here goes nothing, everyone. 3, 2, 1, record. Hello, 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 world. Hope everyone is doing well. This is the very first, oh, I don't even have a title for this podcast. I should have thought that. Let's record on, let's rewind that. We need a name for the podcast, guys. I cannot shoot a podcast without having a name for the podcast. Why don't we call it, hey, any recommendations? Let's delete this. Don't save. Do you have any recommendations? Everyone, what recommendations do you have for podcast names? Let's think about this. Let's look up other language podcast. Oh no, what if I do, let's see. What recommendations do you guys have? Let's open up the chat here. This will be a bit of inception. You guys will see the screen with the chat. Do people have suggestions? Common language questions debunked. Ooh, that's not bad. Robert White, not bad. Common language questions debunked. That's not bad at all. But we need a name for the podcast. I think like something general, because you guys know me. If you guys have watched me for any amount of time, you know that I change my mind all of the time. Like I always change directions. Like I'll do one thing and then I'll get a better idea and I'll change. So what we'll do, I think I got this. What we'll do is I think we'll call the podcast. I like your common language questions debunked. I like that. So let's do this. QuickTime Player. Here we go. All right. Oh, allergies. Good Lord. Okay. New audio recording. There we go. Oh, let's change the page back to here. Oops. Ah, crap. I lost QuickTime. There we go. QuickTime. So we'll call the podcast All About Languages. That'll be the general name of the podcast. And it's probably going to change, but this episode will be called Common Language Questions Debunked. I don't know if I like the word debunked. You know what? We'll leave it as that, and I'll change it after if I need to. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and start. Hello, 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 everyone. Hope you are doing well. This is the very, very, very first podcast that I'm making, and I'm actually completely winging it. So for anyone who's listening to this, it's actually funny because there is a YouTube live stream version of this podcast. However, the YouTube version also happens to include like the setup of like me trying to figure out how to make a podcast. It's going to include as well like me trying to upload this and figure out how that works, because I honestly, it's funny, whenever I do things, I never really, I just sort of jump into it. I don't like do dry runs. I don't do a ton of prep. I learn by doing, and most of the time, depending on the subject matter and what I'm actually doing, but most of the time I'm very, very okay actually publishing something publicly, and even though it may not be really great, and then building off it and trying to make each one a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, until eventually it's like really, really good. So today, you know, I think we're going to title the podcast in general. We'll call it like All About Languages, or even now that I'm talking this out some more, I think we'll call the podcast just my, you know, my username on other social networks. Maybe you'll call the podcast like Azren the Language Nerd Talks Languages or something. You know what? No podcast name. But this episode is called, let's call it, what did Robert say? One of our live viewers said we should call it Common Language Questions Debunked. And I like that, so we're going to go with it. So basically what we're going to do is I've got a website open here. It is www.fluentin3months.com/learner-FAQ/ That is the website. It's got a whole bunch of different language-related questions. I'm going to read the questions and just sort of share my thoughts on each one. So yeah, here we go. So the first question is, how do you stay motivated to keep learning through the long intermediate stage? This is an interesting one. I've talked about this in videos, but I think it's good to talk about on the podcast, since I guess I've never really talked about anything on the podcast before, seeing as this is the very first podcast episode. Do podcasts have episodes, by the way, or is it called something different? I will research that later. Anyway, how do you stay motivated to keep learning through the long intermediate stage? I think there's a lot to it. I think first and foremost, you have to try and make sure that your language learning is fun. Like if you're just focused on enjoying the process of learning the language and not worried about, oh, how quickly will I get to that quote unquote super fluent stage or anything like that, I think that is a really great starting point, because then you're not worried about, oh, it's taking so long to get to the intermediate stage. You're just like, man, I'm having fun with this. This is a great language. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself, etc. I think also the biggest thing to keep in mind is that the more advanced you become in a language, the harder it actually becomes to feel a lot of progress, right? Because what happens is in the early stages, when you learn a concept, or when you learn a grammar tense, or when you learn a new word, when you learn greetings, when you learn etc., it's so much more than what you used to know. So for example, when you knew 0 in the language and you learn the word hello, it is 100% more than what you knew before. When you learn goodbye, right, it is, every single word is such a huge percentage more than what you knew before. Every concept you learn is such a huge percentage more than what you knew before, right? And that's just typically how it works. But the more advanced you become, you know so much that when you're adding something to what you already know, sometimes it feels like a small addition, especially when you know most of the major grammar tenses. Because once you know most of the grammar tenses, now you're just learning individual words, right? So you might learn the word like microphone. You might learn how to say podcast. You might learn how to say computer screen. You might learn how to say car. You might learn all these different words, but you're not going to use every single one of those words every single day. That's just not how it works. And so the more advanced you become, the slower, in my perspective anyway, you don't feel your progress as much. And so you need to understand that, right? So I'm very advanced in French and Spanish, but and I'm still learning. I still learn new words. I'm still reading books and I teach, and I'm always learning new stuff. But I don't feel like I'm improving, even though technically speaking, I guess you could say I am improving in terms of vocabulary, but I don't really feel it because it's been so long that I've spoken those languages. So really, I think it's understanding that when you're in that intermediate stage, it's going to take a long time. Number 2, I just recommend trying to make it as fun as possible. And actually, now that I'm talking this out even more, I got something else that just hit me. Like really, if we were to talk about any other skill, if we take this outside of language learning, let's say we take it to tennis or swimming or whatever. If you want to be like, let's say being fluent in a language is the equivalent of being an excellent, like world-class tennis player. Like if you're 100% fluent in a language, you're like a world-class tennis player or an extremely advanced tennis player. Like the reality is that it just takes, if it was tennis, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to put this in words because this is a logic point that just occurred to me. If it was a sport, for example, I think people are way more understanding to go like, oh yeah, that's really hard to get there. Not everyone will get to that super amazing skill level in tennis, right? But languages, like it's almost like people expect, like, yeah, I should be able to get to that super advanced level. And I think everyone really can get to a super advanced level. But anyway, that's an interesting thought. I'm gonna put that on the back burner because I have to process that a little bit more before I really push ahead with it. But that's an interesting thought I just had. I guess the podcast was the first time I had it, first time I tried to talk about it. Now I'm gonna think about it and probably make a video or a podcast about it later. All right, question number 2. I'm really rambling. This podcast stuff is challenging, man. Holy crap. Anyway, have you ever used a foreign language you know well to learn another one? Yep, I absolutely have. I have used French to learn, yes, I've used some French to learn Spanish. I mean, I taught Spanish in English, meaning my teacher spoke to us in English and compared Spanish to English. However, a lot of my French knowledge is what I would use to accelerate my Spanish learning. So that's a quick question. How can you join in on a conversation when you don't understand every word? That's a good question. I never thought about that. Like literally my knee-jerk reaction, I should have prepared for this in advance now that I'm realizing, but that's okay. My knee-jerk reaction to that question is you can't. Like, it's just, how can you? Like, I mean, actually, that's not true. I guess you can. The question is how much of the conversation you're understanding. Like, if you're understanding 90% of the conversation and there's 10% you're not understanding, well, then you should be able to talk. You should be able to join the conversation without any huge problem because you understand almost everything that's happening. But if it's vice versa and you're understanding, you're understanding 10% and you're not understanding 90%, I mean, there's not much you can really do. Like, you just need to, I don't know, you need to get better at the language before you start joining in on a conversation or join easier conversations. It's like saying, if I can't play tennis at Wimbledon, what do I do? It's like, well, you're not good enough to play in Wimbledon. Well, play in a lower level until you can work your way up to a higher level. Like, I think it's a common sense question. I don't understand where that question's coming from. I mean, I'm going to think about it an extra second right now to see if there's a perspective I'm missing. But I mean, the one thing I will say now that I'm really thinking about this and sitting on it and just kind of talking it out and seeing where my brain lands, I think one of the big things that definitely can help is to join in on the conversation in really simple, lightweight ways. So for example, one thing, some people actually, when I was learning French and Spanish and even Chinese, they think I understand more than I do. Because what I do is I'll like listen and I'll be like, wow, I understand 30% of what's happening. But on the 30% I understand, I will always ask a simple question to make them go further into it. So let's say I understood that they said, oh yeah, my mom's a teacher, and I understood nothing else they're saying before that. I might be like, really? When did she start teaching? Simple question. Like, oh, really? That's cool. My mom is a teacher too. Just something super, super simple and add in on it, ask a question, and then just nod and smile along the way. Like, that's one way you can be a part of the conversation, and even if you don't understand a lot of what's going on. That's something I do, actually. So, yeah, there we go. Let's keep going. What about keeping up with the group of natives? How would you do that? Well, I think I'd already talked about that. Like, if you suck at the language, if you're not there yet, if you're not very advanced, very challenging to keep up with the group of natives. Not really a ton you could do. I mean, yeah, there's not a ton you can do except keep studying. You got to keep learning more vocab, more grammar. You got to keep learning more, right? I mean, yeah, I'll sit on this for another 10 seconds here to see if there's another thought that comes to mind. But anything keep up group of natives? Yeah, I guess you could listen for words comment on the portions you understand. I guess you could ask people to speak slower. You can try, if you're smart with people and you actually have that kind of skill set, you can try and isolate the group, meaning find some reasons to break the group up temporarily. So let's say it's a group of 10 people. Can you get in a conversation with 2 to 3 people? Can you sort of create that 2-3 person circle within the 10-person circle? Because if you can do that, it's easier to follow 2 to 3 native speakers than it is to keep up the conversation happening with 10 people when it's just so many unpredictable factors, like who's going to talk next? Are they going to make a joke? What slang will they use? Like, how fast do they speak, et cetera, et cetera. So that's something for sure. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, but overall, like if you're not overly fluent, I mean, oh, here's another one. Actually, you could practice. That's an easy one. Practice talking with natives. Get used to what it's like hearing them. Yeah, let's keep this rolling. I love this. No prep, just on the fly. All right. Do you feel like a different person when speaking different languages? Yeah, I really do. It feels like my personality changes ever so slightly. I think it does less now than it used to, mostly because my personality would change based on actually, it's not really true. Actually, you know what? My personality does change ever so slightly in each language. Even now, it still currently does. I'm a little bit more, I don't know if reserved is the right word, but a little bit more professional, a little less, a little more proper when I'm speaking French. I'm way more relaxed when I speak Spanish. Chinese, I don't really have an identity yet because I'm not overly fluent in Mandarin yet. But yeah, it definitely does. It's something that's really interested me quite a bit. And yeah, I don't really know why it happens. I think it happens because the context I learned the language in. I think it has less to do with the language and more to do with the context I'm in. So for example, French, a lot of my French, was learned through school, but I also lived in France for a good chunk of time. And it was kind of weird at times. Like, I was a little bit socially awkward. I was afraid of making mistakes. I had this weird delusion that, my level of French would be the better I was in French, the more friends I would have, and that's not really how things work, but I thought that's how it worked. So I was very cautious. I was very perfectionist, very hard on myself. And to this day, I think I carry that with me when I speak French, so it's affected how I speak it. And Spanish, I was more relaxed learning it. I learned it in a more casual environment. Yes, I majored in Spanish in school. Yes, I took university classes. Yes, all blah, 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 blah. But I was in more casual situations with Spanish, and I felt less stressed than I did with French. And so I think, that along with the fact that Latino culture is quite open and very friendly and everything, I think those two combinations probably affect how I feel and what my personality is like when I'm learning Spanish. So cool, or when I'm speaking Spanish, excuse me. All right, what language do you dream in? English. However, I have definitely dreamt in French, and I believe I've dreamt in Spanish. And I once had a very bizarre dream that lasted a year. So I had a dream where my dream lasted a whole year. No idea how that happened, but it did. Lasted a whole year. And I was in China. So I was speaking Chinese in the dream, but at the time I spoke not a word of Chinese. So that was quite bizarre. Quite bizarre waking up, actually, for that matter. It's very weird waking up and being like, oh my God, that lasted a whole year and it was really only one night? Huh, how weird. Oh, so many questions on this website. Oh, there's only one more. Perfect. Last question. How do you stop thinking via English? Huh, how do you stop thinking via English? I think time, practice. Yeah, time and practice, really. It's experience. And even then, some people still think in English even though they're really good. You know what? I don't really have any top of mind thoughts on this question. Something I could probably come up with an answer if I thought about it, but it's not something I've really thought a ton about. So perfect. That is the last question. Thank you everyone for watching. Do people like plug stuff in their podcast? Do they tell them to follow on Snapchat and stuff? I have no idea. I don't really say in my YouTube videos, so I guess I won't. Actually, you know what? Why not? Let's plug in my podcast. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Musical.ly, Facebook, YouTube. Yes, if you search PolyglotAzren or Azren the Language Nerd, you will find me. All right. Thank you for listening. Bye. All right. So there we go. Now we have to save this or export this. How's the chat doing? How's the live stream? Wow, 5 people are watching. Beautiful. Hope you guys like that podcast. Now we have to figure out okay, help me. Guys, help me on the live chat. Help me out here. Where do people post podcasts? Where does that happen? SoundCloud? Like what? Is there a YouTube of podcasts? Like where does one upload a podcast? Let's Google this. All right, where does one upload a podcast? All right. No one's commented on it. How to upload a podcast, or where does a podcast? Okay. Aha, here we go. Man, I'm super thirsty after that. Here we go. Wait, people buy podcast episodes? What? Interesting. This website says most people usually bought podcast. Wait, well, a few years ago, before I had ever published a single podcast episode, I would either find and download shows. Wait, what? Oh, published, not purchased. I misread that. Okay, never mind. Okay. iTunes, interesting. Okay. Website and uploading podcasts. Oh, on your website. Okay, interesting. Do I have a website? I do have a website. I don't use it though. Oh, it's used wrong. Okay. So you never upload podcasts to iTunes. Okay. Next, although you can upload them to your own website, it isn't recommended. Instead, you allow them to be, Instead, you allow them to be played from your website, but you upload them elsewhere. Okay. So where do I upload my podcasts? First, you need to create an account with the media host. Okay. Libsyn or Blurberry. Okay, let's just open this in a new tab. Find out more about each service and which one best suits your show here. Let's do that. Let's see if people have given me any thoughts in the Patrick says iTunes. Okay. Hello. Wow. 7 people are watching this. Hello. Let's just pop the camera on to myself for a second. Say hello. Hello. 7 people. Double-handed. Hello. Didn't realize there's so many people watching. So I recorded the podcast. So anyone who's just joined on recently, I have no idea who heard the podcast. I have no idea who didn't hear the podcast. No clue. But for anyone who rejoined on recently, I just finished recording the podcast, I guess you would say. Now we're trying to problem solve how to actually post it. So let's share my screen again. Share, there we go. Present to everyone. Let's hang out on this internet window to make sure people can see it. Make sure it actually switched over. Okay, yep, looks like it has switched over. That is good. Oh my goodness, these allergies are the worst. Okay. Patrick just heard near the end. By the way, Patrick, good luck on your C1 exam. Or was it C1 that you said, or B2? No, you took your B2 thinking about C1. Good luck on the exam, my friend. Good luck. I got your message on Skype there. So, all right, here we go. So I opened up, okay, now what do? Create your podcast website. What? Oh, this is a work. Jeez, YouTube is so much simpler, I think. In case you need to deliver how to show. Okay, wait, where were we? Okay, so what is a media host and how do they work? Media hosts are websites that are designed to do exactly that. Host your, okay, great. In our case, as podcasters, that usually means audio. The 3 companies mentioned above specialize in hosting audio files. Cool. Now, there are 2 ways to use a media host, either to host your entire podcast website or to just host your audio files. In the case of the latter, you'd then be delivering the show through your own website and just using the media host to store the file, okay? I think we want to actually make the website. I think that's what we'll do. When you create an account with the media host, you'll have the opportunity to fill in all the details about your podcast series. Name of the show, description, category, etc. Publishing episodes is a similar process. Uploading audio is no different than uploading images on social media. Okay, that's good to know. Create new episode page. Enter the episode title. Okay. Okay, let's figure out which one to use. Now, should we use Lisbon or Blurbury? Blurbury, interesting. Okay. First, full disclosure. Okay. At the podcast host, we host most of our shows on either Lisbon or Burley and affiliates of both services. We offer a free month. Oh, is it paid? Oh, really? I don't want to pay. We highly recommend either service to anyone who asks for media hosting. Price and storage. Bottom line is that Lisbon are slightly cheaper if we were to base it on a monthly storage allowance. Man, holy crap. I don't want to pay 15, 20 bucks a month. Jeez. Okay. Lisbon, I can do 5 bucks for 50 megabytes. Okay. Okay, so 10-minute episode would be just under 10 megabytes. Okay, so if I have 250 megabytes storage, holy moly, but 250 megabytes is not very much. If you do an hour-long podcast, that's like 60 megabytes. That's expensive. So what's the, okay, let's look at these guys. Okay, hang on. Can there other, let's see if there's free ones. I don't want to pay yet because I don't even know what I'm doing yet. Okay, wait, let's free podcasting hosts. Best free podcasting, Buzzsprout, free podcasting hosting. Oh, SoundCloud. Can I podcast on SoundCloud? That's interesting. How do I do that? Upload for free, really? People are still watching this. This is great. This is phenomenal. Wait, you gotta be joking me. I can. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's sign in. I think I have a think I have an account. Hang on, let's just stop sharing my screen for a second here. I'm not sure if my password's gonna show up as I type it, so. Hello, 5 viewers. Okay, hang on. I think I have a Google account with SoundCloud, so let's check that out. Oh wow, I can upload stuff to, oh no way. So SoundCloud gives me 180 minutes of free podcasting. So that's like 2.5 hours? No, 3 hours. Sorry, 3 hours. That's freaking good. Does Lisbon and those other ones do that? Lisbon. Let's look it up. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Libsyn. Libsyn. Let's get the screen share back onto my screen. There we go. Share. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Let's check this out. Let's see if Libsyn also gives us any free stuff here. What is there? Okay, let's look. Let's take a look. Let's do proper research here. Let's go pro. Here we go. So with SoundCloud Pro, you get, okay, I need to write this stuff down. Let's get a Word document out. Let's write this down. Let's get an Excel out, actually. Excel's better. Let's start comparing this stuff and figure out what actually is the best. Because I'm going to be doing podcasting. I'm pretty sure this is the thing I'm jumping into. So if I need to eat some cost, I'll eat some cost on it. I'm not worried. Like if I need to, I need to, but okay, here we go. So you have SoundCloud. Libsyn. We have, what was the other one? What was it? Blurbry. I don't even like what Blurbry sounds like. I think just for that reason, I might not ever post something there. Anyway, Blurbry, something like that. Okay, so SoundCloud. Let's go through pricing. So we have services. Now we have, how do let's do this like SoundCloud, Libsyn, Blurbry. Okay, let's do like that. So we have SoundCloud offers. So, okay. So 3 hours is, so free, okay, free 3 hours uploads. There we go. What about Libsyn? What is your free platform? Libsyn has nothing for free. Okay, good to know. Libsyn is nothing. What about Blurbry? Oops, not Safari. Here we go. Free pricing. Oh, Blubbery. No, I keep saying Blurbry. It's Blubbery. Okay, cool. Oh, interesting. iTunes. Okay. Okay, they also have. Okay, good to know. They have no free package. Well, how's the chat doing? Okay, good. Good to know. Nothing is free. Okay. Center this out. Make this a little bigger. Center these. I don't want those centered. These can be centered. Okay. Now we have upload without limits. Hang on, what was the? Okay, bike videos. Can't read this, so small. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's go back here. So $6 a month or $55 a year. And that gives me 6 hours. So for, okay, so $55, I get different features. So $55, I get 6 hours. So $55, I get 6 hours of uploads. Then I get some features too. So what features do I get? Stats Oh, including plays by country. Pin tracking. I'm not worried about these features as of right now. I just want to look at the pricing for the time being. Or I could do 145, and that gives me unlimited. Okay, so 145 bucks gives me unlimited stuff for a year. Okay, that's a good number to know. Okay, there we go. This is going to be a weird table because, okay, unlimited. Okay, what about the rest of them? Let's have a look. So, okay, what is all this stuff? Do you know what I should do? I should, let's go back to the website here. I want to know what, oh, here we go. This is the one. Okay, let's read this. I don't care about players. Oh, this is so much. I just need someone to give me like a table. I don't like reading so much. Geez, summary. Here we go. Weighing the differences and deciding which service. Why can't there just be like a YouTube, like one platform? Ugh. Different ethos when it comes to hosting. Much more about simplicity and speed of post, upload, publish from the dashboard of your website. If I wanted to work with my own site as much as possible, I'd host with them. As for Listbin, it's letting their site handle, the distribution, and their belief in having different feeds for different destinations. If I wanted to publish episodes exclusively to destinations like Google Play, for example, I'd host with them. I'd love to hear what you think of each provider. Oh, do you know what I should do? I know a guy who, I don't know a guy, I know of a guy who does podcasting. I think he does a podcast. I think he has a website. I remember hearing this. Oh, he does. Okay, what does he do? Oh, what is this? More? Oh, more platforms? Oh my goodness. So Apple has one. What is Stitcher? Okay, let's open all these in a new tab. Jeez Louise. SoundCloud, I'm familiar with SoundCloud. Overcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, Overcast, Auto Radio. What is Stitcher? Learn more about Stitcher. Oh, I understand. So you upload it. Okay, let's check the chat quickly. Okay, hang on. So I think I understand this. So Stitcher. Oh, I get it. I think I understand how this works. Hang on, FAQs. Cast is powered by cloud service. In the offer for users, there are options, disable ads. Who are you? I'm macro. What is Overcast? Hang on. What is Overcast podcast? What is it? Okay, so if I understand this correctly, which I think I'm understanding this, you will host your... I think podcasting works differently than like YouTube videos. So YouTube, let's put this camera back on me for a sec. If I'm not mistaken, okay, we're back on me. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, YouTube will host your video, and it's also a platform where you can distribute and find videos. So for instance, if I want to post a video, I go to YouTube, I post it to YouTube, but I could also find stuff on YouTube too. If I'm understanding this correctly, things like iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, things like that, if I'm not mistaken, those are the places you could find podcasts, but you need to upload it somewhere different. Am I understanding this right? Does somebody understand podcasting? If you understand, please type in the chat, help me understand this. I thought this would be as simple as shooting it, finding a website that host them and upload. But I don't know. Stitch together your favorite shows into customized station playlists and save them for easy access. Create a new playlist. Discover new. Okay, wait, let's Google this then. Let's look. Okay, let's share my screen again. Share my screen. This is an absolute nightmare. Well, it's not a nightmare. It's okay, but it's more complex than I thought. Okay, let's do share screen. All right, there we go. Okay, let's Google this. Let's Google how to upload or how to list your podcast on Stitcher. Oh, submit your feed to Stitcher. Log into your Stitcher account and click the Add Shows link. Enter information on your podcast using the feed address. Oh, okay. Oh, so Stitcher is like a SoundCloud, right? Is that how this works? Let's go to Stitcher. Hang on. Stitcher. Let's figure this out. Stitcher here. Let's hang on. I want to see. Hang on. Learn more. What is premium? Ad-free listening, Stitcher Originals, bonus episodes, comedy albums, ad-free listing, bonus episodes. But I think, frick, I just need to like, you know what I should be doing? I'll probably end up doing this anyway. I'm probably using a cold call. I'll probably just cold email every single podcaster and just be like, can I pick your brain for half an hour? I have so many podcast questions. That'll probably be a good way to go for me. Make sure, oh crap. I accidentally closed the YouTube stream. You guys should still be there though. Yeah, you're still there. We're here. Okay, we're back. Good. Welcome to Stitcher. I lost my link. Well, what are the rest of these? What is this? Okay, so these are all websites to be posting. Oh, really? You can put. So I can put this on Google Play. Interesting. Okay, good to know. Spotify, iHeartRadio. So, okay, what is Stitcher? Let's need to understand what's happening. Yeah, this is an internet radio. Okay, so these are companies where you can access shows. So I can't go, oh, let's check this out then. Let's go to Libsyn. I wonder if on Libsyn, if I could find, I understand this concept, guys. I think I'm slowly but surely starting to understand how this works. So Libsyn, let's just, okay, wait, what if I do, let's go to Stitcher again. I search, hang on, top shows. Oh, I get it, guys. I understand how this works. So basically what happens, if I understand this correctly, yeah, I was right the first time. So YouTube, we're lucky. So anyone who makes YouTube videos is lucky because you can host your videos on YouTube, and that is the primary source for finding videos, right? For finding YouTube videos. I think for podcasting, from what I'm understanding, there's lots of websites where you could find podcasts, but only a couple that you would actually host the podcast, if I'm understanding this correctly. Let's move this over. Man, people are actually enjoying this video. It's amazing. It's great. There we go. So let's close some of these out. So for the time being, I'm going to keep this open because I'm going to look at this later. So, oh yeah, we're still doing this. Okay, let's look at these pricing. So, oh, it's storage per month. What is storage per month? Monthly storage is the amount of storage you receive with each month of service. In 3 months, you can have 3 times that stored if you utilize your storage. Okay, so basically you, oh, okay. So then with SoundCloud, do you get, is it, I don't understand. Deeper stats, more upload time. Deeper stats, okay. Oh, I can scroll down on this, interesting. 30-day guarantee, okay, well, hang on. But what about, so I think, basic features of Lisbon, basic stats can be added for $2 a month, classic 250, advanced 400, who need room to hold a massive growing archive of content, along with stats, media, transcoding, an option for custom mobile app, and all of the features that the other plans have. Under this program, you can produce a daily long format audio program or filming a weekly sitcom. Let me see something. I just want to read this. Oh, this is not giving me, I don't want to do this. Close. What I need to understand is, do I get 1,500 megabytes a month of storage? Or do I get that period? Because here it's very, this must be monthly, right? Must be. Because this one, it says per month. So because I mean, if I'm not mistaken, SoundCloud seems to be the absolute cheapest way to go, like $80 a month. That's ridiculous. SoundCloud, I just do $16 a month. And I get unlimited, like, hang on, let's Google this then. SoundCloud versus what is it? Blubbery versus Libsyn. Here's a video on it. I want to watch a video right now. Is SoundCloud a legitimate option for podcasting? Oh, here we go. Why do so many people prefer Libsyn to SoundCloud Unlimited? And opt to post throughout a seamless option where you can use free. After uploading 3 episodes, I opted to $50 a month to get the unlimited storage and the unproofed stats. I'm really liking SoundCloud, but I've heard a lot of people say that Libsyn or Podbean are better choices. Could someone explain exactly why this is? If I need to change my hosting site, I would love to do that while my boss is so young. The analytics are far more accurate and helpful on Libsyn, which is very important if you ever hope to find a sponsor. Ah, okay. Reliable, flexible. I use SoundCloud as a better player, but I never use it to host on iTunes unless you're podcasting as a hobby. I think I may switch over to Libsyn. Any idea how hard it'd be to update that with iTunes? I've never used it to host an iTunes feed, so I'm not sure how easy that might be. I'm sure there's something in the FAQ about moving the hosting or support that should be able to point in the right direction, okay? I used to use Libsyn, but I now use what is this, Podbean? I like the simplicity, and you get unlimited. Oh, that's not bad. $12 a month. I think for this was 16, so that actually might be worth it. Let's look into Podbean in a second, guys. Who's still here? People are still here. That's cool. Okay, here's a website here. Oh, I just want to open it as a new tab. Open new tab. Okay. It's more preferring anything as SoundCloud. SoundCloud is not podcaster friendly, and their stats are not on par with everyone else. Plays versus downloads, great for music, not there yet for podcasts. Almost anything is better than SoundCloud. Interesting. Are all profitable companies that have working business models, industry standard stats, reliable technologies, and support building your platform instead of their own. They also have industry expert podcasters on staff. SoundCloud has never made a profit. In fact, they're losing money so far, and they're being sued. I don't know if this is true. This is 1 year ago, so I'll take this with a grain of salt. Also horrible. Oh, this is a year old. Okay, let's look into Podbean, guys. Oh, but there's a website here I want to read. No. Space back in the 30s. Being only upload social time. Easily get the pictures. Okay. Limited fixed storage. Crazy unlimited storage. Other companies of unlimited storage have price limits on how much your media can be downloaded. This is fine for some small, but you may hit build bandwidth every month. This unlimited storage with bandwidth, easy. This is really, so I'm thinking, oh, here we go, comparison. I like this. Oh man. This is complex, guys. What about Podbean? Let's look into Podbean. What is Podbean? Podbean. How's the stream doing? People are still here. Pricing. Oh, cool. $3 a month. Oh, this is not bad. This is cheaper. 1,000 meg, or no, 100. I misread that. So $9 a month. Excuse me. Audio podcasting, no limits. So audio only. Unmuted bandwidth. Embeddable players. iPhone, Android app. Your own podcast site. Podcast themes. iTunes support. Comprehensive stats. Custom design. Map your domain. Premium. This seems not bad. What's this? I don't need video podcast, do I? Oh, I could get a video podcast. Couldn't I just do a video podcast on YouTube though? Wouldn't that make more sense? I would think. And then what's this? $99 a month. What's the difference? I get premium podcast. I got multiple admins, premium bandwidth, priority support, no Podbean branding, private podcast, multiple channels, SSO login. I don't need this $99 a month, but $10 a month, that's not bad. I could do that. So $10 gets me to, so $120 probably US a month. So let's do the conversion, or no, a year. So USD to CAD. That's about 120. $160 to have a podcast for a year. I've paid more for other things, so it's not awful. Not awful. I can make that work. Okay. So hang on. So why? Well, let's figure this out then. So SoundCloud versus Podbean. SoundCloud blurb. I need a text. I don't watch a video right now. Etc. Every time I switch it, pricing structure is okay. This is 8 months ago. Yeah, like $40 a month. I just cannot get over that. It's a lot. Hang on, let's go back to the pricing. Like, that's the biggest thing, guys. It's like just driving me absolutely crazy is the pricing. Like $20 a month is just ridiculous. Like I just don't want to, for 400 megabytes, that's like 40 minutes, right? Like, well, how many megabytes is the one I just did? How many megabytes was this? Let's have a look. Let's do export, audio only. This is my first podcast. Let's just save this in save this in wait, oh, save this in movies for now. That's fine. AZREN language nerd. Let's save it there. Now let's see how big it is. Oh, this is .m4a. No, it had 5 seconds. Okay, there we go. Minimize this for a sec. Let's see how big the file is, because 14-minute podcast. Let's just right click. How do I see info on it? Get info. Here we go. I can't see a size. No, it must be here. It has to be a size. What? No size? That's a crucial piece of information. Ah, here we go. Oh, gee, so 14. I'm sure this is compressible though, but anyway, so 14 minutes was 26 megabytes. So anyway, so it's okay. Oh, here we go. 26 right in front of me. Okay, 26 megabytes. How do I close this? So 14 equals 26 megabytes. So 14, 26 megabytes divided by 14 minutes. It's basically 1.9 megabytes per minute. 1.9 megabytes per minute. So that means you get 400 megabytes. So what's 400 divided by 1.9? I'm getting 210, so that's 60, 120, 180. It's like little 3.5 hours of, yeah, that's nothing, guys. I could do like a podcast a day. Like that's nothing. And a few hours of podcasting a month, 2.5, 3 hours, 3.5 hours of podcasting a month is nothing. So unless I'm completely I don't understand why people are recommending Libsyn. Like the pricing just doesn't make sense. It makes no sense to me. How do you suggest to think in a language? Because languages are not just sentences. Patrick, I'll get to your question. Actually, let's answer Patrick's question to give me a mental break here. Answer his question quickly, and then I'll go back to this. So let's see here. Patrick has a question. How do you suggest to think in a language? Because the languages are just not sentences. I don't know, man. How do you think in a language? Practice, I guess. Practice, Patrick. Yeah, I don't know, man. How do you suggest to think in a language? I mean, it's just practice, man. You got to be fluent to think in a language, and it's also got to be in your personality, I think, as well. But anyway, I don't have a good answer for you, Patrick. I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure, man. Not sure. No idea on that one. I think that was one of the questions on the podcast I didn't know how to answer, actually, funnily enough. But okay. Okay, let's jump back into this. So Pinecast is another one. There's a free plan and a $5 a month that offers unlimited shows, storage. Oh, really? Oh, this is the owner of it. He's advertising. Okay. But yeah, like it's just crazy stuff. How can someone pay like even like $80 a month for Blurbery or whatever the heck it's called? The logic isn't there. Frick, man. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, and if people are paying this for their podcasts? Like, what? Like, I don't pay to post YouTube videos. I don't understand how this, like, is it because YouTube has so many users that they can afford to make it free? Like, Okay, well, for now, okay, so for now what we're gonna do, let's share the screen here again. There we go, shared screen. Okay, everyone should be able to see now. Okay. Need to go here. For now, what we'll do is we'll keep these links open and we're just gonna upload it to SoundCloud. I think I need to change my profile on this though, because I don't even know, I made this so many years ago that AZREN Raju. Oh, is that my name on this? It's not even like a, okay, let's change this stuff up here. Edit, display name, we'll say PolyglotAzren. And we'll say soundcloud.com/PolyglotAzren. I'll say my bio, your friendly neighborhood language learning enthusiast. Smiley face. Actually, friendly neighborhood language learning enthusiast. Yeah, there we go. Let's keep it simple. Smiley face. Let's add some links. Let's add Instagram. AZREN. This is Instagram. Add a link. Let's do Facebook. Let's do YouTube. Oops. Let's add, will it do Musically? Does Musically have a link? No, they don't. Let's do Snapchat has a link. Where is it though? What's my Snapchat link? It's not here. Oh, you know what, actually? I need to stop. I don't want, hang on here. As I peruse through my email, I don't want to show a lot of that as I go through that. It's in my email signature. Snapchat. Oh, damn, my Snapchat link's not my, kidding me. My Snapchat link is not in my, oh, here it is. Yeah, I found it. Perfect. Snapchat link. Let's put that in my SoundCloud. Snapchat. I have Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook. Yeah, let's leave it there. Let's update my picture because I don't like this picture anymore. Let's pick a picture for my China album. Pictures. I can share my screen again, I guess. Let's share my screen again. Share screen. Oh, come on. Work with me here. Oh, my family's home. It's fine. There we go. Screen is shared. Update image. Pictures. Let's pick a China picture. Let's pick this one. Let's do like that. Canada. Save changes. There we go. Let's refresh the page. Oh boy. Oh, I have 2 followers. Look at that. Well, 2 followers. All right. Okay, now let's upload my podcast. AZREN Language Nerd. My first podcast. Title. We'll do whoa, cancel. There's a problem. Need to refresh this. There we go. Now we can choose a file. This one. What do we call this? Language. Wait, my first podcast. Language questions. I forget what it was. Answering language questions, I think it was. Answering language questions. I think that was the answer. Genre. Oh, wow, interesting. Is there education? Is there languages? Oh, world. That could work. Oh, it's not music, though. It's an audio. Learning. Yeah, it's learning. Yeah, let's say learning. Language, learning. Okay, how do I... Oh, I see. Check languages. Polyglot. Polyglotism. Let's do multilingual. Multilingualism. Let's do, I don't know. The brain's not working anymore. First, podcast. First, AZREN, the language nerd. Let's do PolyglotAzren. Languages. Oh, I did languages. French. Now we're just getting into like other stuff. Spanish. Mandarin. Chinese. French, Spanish, Mandarin, Chinese, English. Leave it there. Okay. Still on? Patrick, yep, I teach online. I do. You can find me on italki. You already just send me a message privately. It might be a little bit cheaper for you. I charge a little more on italki than I do privately, just because italki they charge me a percentage to make money. So so just message me privately. We can figure it out. I can figure it out. It's cheaper. It'll be cheaper for you. So, but yes, I do teach on Skype. So if you want it, yeah. Typically, most of my students are in person, but yeah, if something comes to me online, I mean, you know, I'll take it. I'll help you out. So anyway, the description track. My first podcast ever. I am super new to this and just wanted to test it out. Enjoy. Let's say that. Make it public. I need a picture. Oh, I need a picture. Let's just do a picture of my face because I like my face. My face is very pretty. Oh, you need pictures. Let's just pick like some selfie or something. I don't know. I got like some nice selfie in here. Oh, here's one. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. You can move it over like that. You probably even see the China bit. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Look at that. It's not bad. Let's hit save. All right. Here you go. Oh, I don't even like listen to this. I should listen to this, eh? Let's make sure this actually works. Hello, hello.
Oh, it's loud.
Hello,
Jeez, it's loud.
you are doing well. Perfect. It worked, everyone. All right, let's stop this. Let's get this off here. All right, so let's do this. Stop. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. What I'll do is I'll post a link in the description of this video for the podcast link if you guys are going to actually go watch the first one. So anyway, have an awesome day. See you guys. Bye. Bye. And yeah, Patrick, send me a message if you want. If you want to get more active with your French, send me a message. We can figure something out. Figure it out and walk you through what I charge and everything. And if it makes sense for you, then cool. If not, then no worries. So beauty. Let's end the stream here. See you guys.